into our second piece here regarding that.
I want to do that Friday.
You want to do
to my
second piece? So, nonetheless, there has been a lot of, I don't want to call it uproar. It's just been a lot of people talking about this Mark Zuckerberg video. Have you seen the Zuckerberg free speech video?
Yeah, but I don't know how to feel about it. But go ahead, explain.
Well, I'm not going to explain without taking it in context here.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to take it all in first.
That's crazy.
Pause. So, hold on a second here. Let me preface this by saying Mark Zuckerberg is, if you don't know who he is probably not from this planet, but we have not gotten definitive information on that just yet. He runs Facebook, and he has been open about censorship on his app, any Meta apps, it's Instagram, and how they direct the information and traffic. We talked about this, but we used to wonder like why it would happen. He kind of gets into it a little bit in the video, so I wanted to play it for y'all. So if y'all can please give me a moment to let Zuckerberg, who's got an afro now, so he's feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely feeling himself. Just hold on a second. Let me bring him in here.
Mark Zuckerberg is a nasty work, bro. Diabolical, nasty work.
Well, he is definitely the topic of discussion right now. So can you see you see Zuck?
Yes, sir.
With his little
he looks like
Zucker.
He looks like what's the Zuckerfro? Sucker free. He looks like one of them Simpson characters.
He does. He looks exactly like a Simpson character.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I don't know if we're going to get in trouble for that. Remember, we're supposed to be being nicer. Elon said we have to be nicer on the internet right now. So
yeah, right before he shitted on the whole lot.
Right. Didn't he do that?
Right before.
Didn't he do that? Man, that guy's crazy.
That's
anyway.
Today.
All right. So let's listen to the Zuck thing. I'm going to speed him up because he talks for a minute.
I started building social media to give people a voice.
Okay.
I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years.
Okay.
There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation.
True.
These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people.
True.
And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
Okay.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media were nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
The facts were fake.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community note system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
Can I say Cybertruck
What
now?
started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms.
Pause this video for 1 second.
Okay.
Hold check.
Yes.
This dude said we're getting rid of fact checkers and censorship, meaning that's what they've been doing.
Yes.
This dude is scared as hell of Donald Trump.
Preach, brother!
Bro. And he's saying it like it's supposed to be some kind of educational video.
But hey,
like,
guess what?
No,
So we were thinking about it, and
this is what we've been doing.
Yeah, by the way, we've been censoring the shit out of y'all.
That's exactly what they've been doing, bro.
So if you've been wondering why when you jump on with certain topics, why you get shadowed and what do they call it, throttled, right? Yeah. It's because somebody was paying for that to happen. So
we're gonna let black people be black again.
Yeah, we're gonna let black people talk again. Cause see, if the only thing that makes it through is ratchetness. Like we weren't seeing nothing,
Right.
And so it's like I said, it's a slippery slope though with the Zuck. Cause you
The
know,
black people, they love me. The black people love me.
but see, here's
and
the
I
thing:
love them.
community notes is just a bunch of people agreeing on something, right? Can't we all agree on some wrong stuff? Isn't that
See,
possible?
I don't know what community notes it even means. Is that, are you talking about like if you go on a post and it has like the AI and says, this is what people are talking about here?
Sort of, yeah, but the AI is generated from a bunch of people saying that something was true or not true or adding context to it. So the community notes is a group of people have said the same general thing about this thing, and that's what they're going to put in there. So,
Well, I got to be honest with you, Hayes. I enjoyed the fact check stuff, right? Because I would talk whatever shit I wanted to talk. And if they fact checked me and said this isn't true, then I knew I was off base. You know what I'm saying?
you know, you was a little off on that. Okay, well, thank you, fact checkers. But that's the problem. The fact checkers were not being truthful. That's
my point. That's what really fucks me up about it. And I've been saying that. Like, wait a minute. Why am I supposed to just believe that this fact check is on point? Like, who says you're not from behind the machine anyway? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the problem though, is if you open up the door for certain things, it might open up the door for other things that you don't want to let through the door. So that's where there's kind of a slippery slope there. Yeah, you don't want them, you try to open up the front door and be nice, and then they try to come in the back. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, pause. That's crazy.
That's crazy work. So
That's diabolical work.
So let me let him finish his. I'm
right,
not
go
going to
ahead.
call
I'm
it a
sorry.
rant, but this is going across the socials right now. Everybody's talking about it. We'll see what they even do. But I mean, is it going to be less ass on Instagram and Threads?
It's gonna be mo ass.
Right. Okay. That's what. Just making sure. All right.
We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
So if you don't
Problem is
report
that
it,
the
they ain't
filters
going to do
make
nothing about it.
mistakes, and they take down a lot of
Everybody's
content.
getting ready to get
So by dialing
reported.
them
Yes.
We're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
Yeah, we got
Fourth,
some shit going
we're
to get
bringing
through.
back civic content.
That's
For
what
a
he's
while,
saying.
the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we
stressing
stopped
us out.
recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into
Wonder where he got that- wonder where he got that idea
the
from.
communities friendly and positive.
The
Fifth,
people love
we're going to move
me.
our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our
Okay.
US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Texas.
As we work
Okay.
to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after
There you
American
are.
companies
There you
and
go.
pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world.
That's true.
Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
Why do we care?
Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country.
Okay, so
The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even
Boy,
the
this
US
is
government
heavy.
has pushed for censorship. By going after us
now
and other
he's
American
sitting on
companies,
Biden.
it has emboldened our government to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression,
See?
and I am excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right.
said
I
he
bet
was
you are
complex system,
excited
and
to
never
excited
gonna
to take it
Whoa.
right.
there's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work
Diabolical.
very hard to remove. But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice.
Okay, well, that's what Mark Zuckerberg has now dedicated Facebook and Meta to, is opening up the doors for all types of information to come on through.
Bro.
I mean, it's like, what do you do with that? Really, being honest, you want the free speech part. You want people to be able to say things, but you don't want everybody to say everything because everybody ain't got everything to say. Like some people just talk goofy shit. So you can't have that as just
what did President-elect tell Mark Zuckerberg? That's what I want to know.
He said, "Get right or good night." Yeah, you won't be.
Think we're playing with this TikTok thing? You think we won't shut it down?
Oh yeah.
Your next Facebook.
And see, Zuckerberg was with Biden and them, but he exposed them a couple months ago. That's what started it. He went in on them saying, "Well, y'all were paying us to do this." He put the whole thing out. He wrote a whole letter. So I knew eventually he was going to do this. He let Elon Musk go first because I guess he looked like Elon Musk was like the stronger. So he's like, all right, if Elon can do that, now I can come behind him and do that, because he likes to come behind people and do stuff. So that's what he did. And
That's crazy.
Pause him, not me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did.
Pause him.
So here's the thing. Me personally, I'm one of those folks, I got to see how something works before I totally discount. Because it could be a good thing. It could be. Or it could be a horrible idea to have X and Facebook just open the doors for whatever goofiness comes down the timeline. And now I got to redo my whole filter personally. Like I didn't like the directioning, if that's a word, but how it would lead you into certain things. But I don't need it to don't open it up for everything. I don't want to see everything. You know what I'm saying?
This is my issue that I have with X. X needs to be doing the exact opposite. That place is a cesspool now. Like it's bad,
interesting.
Bro.
It's interesting. You'll be
You can literally see penetration on that. Now, as a grown man, I'm not against seeing these things, but I am against seeing my children seeing these things. Or my soon to be grandchildren. I don't want them looking at that mess.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And not only that, but what's even worse is the fight videos. The fight videos ain't like fight videos 10 years ago. These fight videos got people getting curb stomped and it's ridiculous, bro. X is a cesspool. And the thing that I hated about Facebook was there are people that have their whole life documented as far as pictures and videos, and Facebook, because of all that censorship, they were taking accounts away from these people. Like let's say you had a whole bunch of pictures in your phone and you uploaded them to Facebook, and now that they're uploaded to Facebook, you say, okay, well, I'm going to get a new phone, so it doesn't matter. And then all of those photos that you had are gone, and you're thinking, well, I still have this account. And now you no longer have access to that if you get in trouble or something for saying something that wasn't even bad, but they banned you. So yeah.
But that's no different than what we've been going through. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to lie. Me personally, I've been wanting to be able to reset my own filters, and we don't really have that ability. So maybe if we shake up the Etch-a-Sketch a little bit, maybe it might help. It might help with people getting correct information if they can get all information. Because you could put people in a box, feed them one piece of a story, and have them all messed up in the head. You know what I'm saying?
The irony here is that if people start getting correct information, there'll be no need for this show.
Well, for right now, they can come and get correct information from the show, but we allow people to just look at the content and, formulate your opinions, have the discussion. But at the end of the day, we want everybody to be able to talk. I don't want to put out a video and only 10 people get the impression of it, like where it's on 10 people's page. That's not fair to a person that spends all their time or a lot of their time trying to make decent content that people can interact with. But because it was or was not about certain topics, it would not be pushed out. And it wasn't about quality, or it was literally, you're not talking about what they want us to talk about or allow to be talked about, especially coming from people of your hue, right? And and we would literally get throttled for that. So we've been talking about it. Everybody's been talking about it, but it's just nice to see Zuckerberg and Elon Musk kind of say, all right, yeah, we know we've been doing that. We've been getting money for it too, by the way. We've been getting paid.
Bro.
Yeah, and then they blame
the government. Domino's said, hey, look, we know we've been selling you guys trash. So we're gonna actually give you something that seems like food now, and put a little garlic.
Man, they put that
we're
sauce.
sorry.
They put that sauce on the crust, boy. It changed my life. I'm telling you, Domino's knew something. Somebody said, "Man, if we just put butter this crust. This crust is horrible," and then they figured it out. Now Domino's
we'll
is
give
killing
it
the
to you
game.
for $5.
Yeah, yeah. So, nonetheless, I'm looking forward to seeing, like, you know, what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and who it's going to, you know, negatively or positively affect. Because I think for some of us, we can navigate shit like this because some freedom is good freedom, but sometimes people be too free and they mess it up for everybody else.
I wonder if they're going to pull back the restrictions on live DJing on Facebook.
Yeah, I would love them to do that. I've been hit for music.
God.
Man, I've been hit for music for years. Like, I would have wanted to start a whole channel where I was doing, you know, with my boy Shell and all that. I had the DJs on there and have them, like, do blend battles. That's what I wanted to do. But I can't put 30 seconds of music up on this joint without somebody saying something. Even if it's a blend of...
Play a Jay-Z record and the FBI will knock on your door. Beyonce, forget it.